So officially, welcome everybody to this word of the year mini workshop. I wanted to create a space for us to have some fun and to play with our word of the year. And whether you have an idea of a word, whether you've got your word locked in, or if you really don't have any idea at this point, we will work with all of that. But I am curious, before we get going, just to know uh, who has their word. So you could just type in the chat, yes, no, or maybe, just so I have a sense, because I may shift kind of the focus depending. If everybody's got their word and they're fully clear and ready to go, then we might spend more time on some other things. Okay, a lot of not yet. Okay. And you may have a word, maybe. Okay, we've got a maybe. So we've got yeses, nos, and maybe. So we'll do a little bit of each, and then that way everyone is taken care of. And we also want to verify the word, and the word may shift a little, and we'll talk about that. But I don't want to put too many thoughts into the mind because I think the primary intention at the beginning is really to get us into a space through the body, getting connected to our what I call our inner wise woman, so that we can receive the word. So it's not coming from here; it's coming from the heart or the womb space, or wherever, someplace else. I will just say, because there are people here that I'm not familiar with, that maybe this is the first time you're with me and you're new to me. I'm Karen Brown. I'm located in Toronto, and I call myself the Midlife Mysteries Coach. I work with women in the second half of life who are moving through career transitions, personal transitions, and also women who have embarked on the wonderful adventure of being a solopreneur in some creative or healing field. I love to work with people on their mission and their marketing. So, going back to the work that we're doing today, why don't we drop in right away into our bodies? I'll include a little bit of an invocation, and if it's okay with you, I'm sure many of you are aware of what's happening in the LA area right now with the terrible, devastating fires. And in fact, my lovely assistant is from LA. She's safe right now, but anyway, it occurred to me this morning that since we're going to be dropping in anyway and being together in the field, which is the most powerful place to do any kind of intention or prayer work, we'll just also, send a little intention for protection and rain and healing there. And then we'll go, so we'll do it, we'll go right in, we'll do invocation, a little bit of that, and we'll go right into receiving our word. And then we'll talk about it all with the mind afterwards. But I want you to have this experience, all right? So just get comfortable in your chair. If you need a sip of water, it's kind of nice to. And water is medicine. So you may want to, if you have water, you may want to just kind of set the intention that the water, which you drink at the beginning and at the end, will also carry the medicine of your word and of your intentions. All right. Okay. So get comfortable in your chair. And if you can have your feet flat on the floor, that's terrific. And we just start by coming into the breath. So just very softly noticing without trying to change anything in the rhythm. Just noticing the subtle way the body moves as you breathe. There may be an expansion, of course, in the area of the heart chakra, in the solar plexus, at the navel, maybe even below that, in the womb or sacral area. And so as you notice and focus your attention In the center of your body, you're bringing your energy back, you're calling it back so that you can be here now. Nothing to do, no expectation. And now maybe just take a deeper breath or two into the heart space, becoming aware of a golden ball of light, or maybe another color for you, in the center of the heart space. And on your next exhale, you may want to take a longer exhale. And just imagine dropping your head and any thoughts, expectations, to-do lists, all of that stuff. Just dropping out of your head, dropping into the heart. And you may even want to imagine any thoughts just really just dripping down through the body and out through the soles of the feet, and you're offering them into Mother Earth. And with that, imagine from the soles of your feet sending roots down deep and wide into Mother Earth to be nourished in the soil, connecting to that beautiful feminine essence. So as we do this, you may want to quietly set an intention for yourself for today and for this workshop. And as we do this, we're also creating sacred space within ourselves and in this community of wise women that we have gathered, those who are here live and those who are on the replay. So now imagine your ball of light in the center of your chest, extending all the way down through the vertical column of your chakra system, all the way down into Mother Earth, together with those roots that you've sent down. And connecting in to the earth grid that lies beneath your feet, several meters and below. There are dragon lines and ley lines which connect us through the land, through Mother Earth, to all the parts of our world. And so sensing the light from the heart, traveling all the way down and connecting with that earth grid. And as we do that, we activate the earth grid and it activates us. And so we'll just take a moment to send an intention that we are sending light and an intention for protection, to the Los Angeles area, to everyone, all sentient beings, and to the land itself that's impacted by the fires. We're sending love and an intention for protection for all. And to bring this challenge to completion with ease and grace. And just see all of the source light being spread around the world to everyone, everywhere who needs it at this time. So anchored into that light beneath your feet that connects us to the Great Mother, bring up any, or just with an intention, any nutrition, any qualities that are needed up into your body, back up through that central pillar, through the heart space, and all the way up now into the cosmos. So as above, so below, as below, so above. And connecting us to the source of light above. And bringing that beautiful light showering down upon us, our body, our field, the connection between us, and our connection with all of the sentient beings around the world. And while we're there, we may also, while we connect with the sun and the light, we also send an intention for rain into that LA area as well. And so now just breathing in all of this light, seeing it filling every cell of your body, divine source light from above and below, filling out your field and going beyond. Knowing that you're connected in all of those ways to all that is. Refocus your attention now in that heart space, and you may see it glowing even more brightly now. Take a couple of deep breaths, and as you do so, that light grows brighter and brighter till you see it as a portal. And you're stepping through the portal of light. Moving through, you feel safe, you feel nourished, and following that pathway of light until you reach a beautiful, wide open space in nature. And just take a minute to observe. Let whatever pops in be right, because it is. This is your space in the imaginal, a place of great beauty, and just notice with all of your senses how this space looks. Notice the qualities in particular, and ask that these qualities be kind of imprinted in your mind, that you'll remember this long after this journey. And as you notice this space, you just feel called to walk towards a certain object. It might be an animal, might be a place to sit down. Just go where it feels right. And as you do so, you see a guide coming towards you. This might be your inner wise woman, but it could also be another guide in another form. You just take a moment to notice who or what that energy is. So you greet them, and you realize that they are going to support you now to receive your word, a word that you can live into in the coming year, that brings you fully alive, that has deep meaning for you, that can guide and align you. So I'm going to take a minute now in silence as this guide reveals to you this word in whatever way it wants to arrive. So I'll come back in a minute or so. You may ask a question or two about this word if it's unclear or if you want to know more. So ask that question now. If you already had your word, just ask the questions to get more clarity or to verify the word. And then if you haven't already received a gift of some kind from the guide that represents this word, that can help you anchor into this word and activate it, ask to receive that, to be shown that now. And so, knowing that your time is coming to a close for now, but that you can come back, visit this space, call in this guide, and that you will be bringing the word and the gift back with you. You say your goodbyes to the guide and just place the word and the gift, which you see now in your hands, just place them into your body wherever feels right. So you're claiming the word and the gift. You're embodying the word and the gift. And you're bringing it back with you. Take a moment just to look around this beautiful space, bringing in again the qualities of the space. Just setting an intention to remember those qualities as well as the word as you walk back now towards that light. Coming back through that portal, back into your heart space, in your own physical body, in the place where you are sitting right now. Just connecting into the word for a minute, just before we open our eyes, but back in your physical space and in your body. Take a deep breath and just feel into the word again. Just notice how the body feels with this word. And notice and take note of how it feels. You may wish to do a quick scan of the body, or you may just get a sense, a tingling, a something that indicates a yes, this is the word. And take one more deep breath, coming fully back into the body, maybe wiggling your toes or moving your heels a little bit. Nice big breath. And when you're ready, in your own time, you can open your eyes. Wonderful. And I'll just give you a minute to jot down anything you wish to remember about what you received. And then I'm going to just say a few words about your word and give you just a few tips about how you might work with your word, because it's great to receive it, but then sometimes we forget. So I'd love for you to really live into this word. So please keep jotting down what you'd like. And I'll just share a couple of things. Actually, maybe I'll tell you a quick story about the word that came in for me, which weirdly, because I'm just leading this, did not actually come in this way, which it usually does, and I usually intentionally do that. The word came in, I received a word as I was tuning in, but the word I received was the opposite of how I wanted to feel. And I recognized it right away. And I was like, this is how I do not wish to feel. And the word was resigned. So I do not wish to feel resigned about anything. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to, because I'm a bit of a word nerd, I'm going to go online and just look up antonyms of the word resigned. And of course, there's many different, meanings or nuances of the word. So there were very many long lists. And all of a sudden, my eyes landed on the word spirited. And it was like, boom, that is the word. And so I want to mention one, sometimes the word doesn't come in the way you expect. Obviously, I just led you through a process. And so it was my intention that you would find the word that way. But I also want to say all the ways that you come across it can be right, including from the opposite way, from that place of, polarity. The second thing I wanted to mention about that, what I love about that word, and it was a whole body, yes. And that's why I suggested that we scan our body after we received the word. I wanted to see that you felt that, yes. But one of the things about that word, or it's the form of the word. So let's say you come up with a word like enlighten or enlightenment, right? There are many different forms of a particular word. I would suggest, and if it doesn't feel right, you can, again, sit with it and scan it. I would suggest, though, that you switch a word like that to enlightened, ED. Why? Because number one, it's like you're saying it's done, right? Enlightened, like it's done. It's so, and it has more of an embodied feel as well. So enlightenment is a concept, but enlightened, it's in you, it's landed. So depending on what your word is, you may want to play just with the grammatical, for lack of a better word, shape that it takes, so that it has that sense of being in. The other thing we did in the meditation that I wanted to mention, because I think this could be really helpful as well, is I wanted you to have a sense when you landed in the space itself of the qualities in the space. And that was intentional because I think that the word that we choose, when we know it's right, it should also match the qualities in that space, because those are the qualities that are a part of your soul essence. And so they should reflect, the word reflects back those qualities and vice versa. So for example, I've been working with the qualities of beauty, magic, and light for a number of years. And when I think of the word spirited, I can absolutely see how each of those words is reflected in the word spirited and vice versa. So again, if you're not sure, if you still have kind of a maybe about the word, check in with your the qualities that you most wish to express and to be in the world. And the word will either be one of those words, or it will be something that you can see that it encompasses those words. What else did I want to say about that? Yeah, I would also recommend for home play, we don't have time to do it now, but I would absolutely recommend that you do a little bit of soul writing with that word and ask the word, or you could ask the guide that you received today to tell you more about that word and just kind of free form. I ended up writing 2 pages about all of the things that that word meant to me, and it just kept coming in. So that's a really useful exercise to really deepen into the word. So then the question is, how do we want to use the word? Because it's great to have a word, but if we forget about it and don't work with it, then it's not going to support us. We want to be able to embody it and live into it. So one of the things, the most simple thing, which I'm sure you know to do, is to just write the word out. You can make it pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can collage something that represents that. And you can put it by your desk or someplace where you're going to see it, regularly. That's an easy one. So that's called anchoring in the word. And you could also, if the gift that you were given in the meditation is something that you could physically, maybe it's a crystal, particular crystal that you were given that represents that word, or something else that's a tangible object that you could easily find in your home or purchase, this is not a hugely expensive thing. You might want to buy that physical thing and have that also nearby so that you can work with it because it's a tangible aspect. You might want to put that on if you have an altar space of some kind, then maybe that's where you put it and work with it. And then a final thing that I'm doing that I really love, which is borrowed from, I think it's called access consciousness. It's a process that I kind of know very little about from years and years ago. But they suggest that you ask the question of the universe, and I think it does have to do with manifesting. So what you do, so let's say, so from my case, the word is spirited. So you ask the question each morning as part of your morning routine, as you're tuning in, you say, how can I be more spirited today? Or how could I bring in more spiritedness into my day? And then the universe, this is the concept is the universe is then forced to show you the answer in the best possible way, to that question. And then because it's come into your conscious awareness as well, of course, then you're going to become more aware of drawing those things in that make you feel that thing. I guess that's the final thing is that ideally the word also has a feeling quality to it. So if the word isn't a feeling quality in and of itself, like spirited is, right? It has a very spirited quality to it, right? So it's you can feel it. But if the word is something that doesn't naturally associate or obviously associate as if or is a feeling, think about what is the feeling state that is associated with that, because that's what you probably want to reach for. Yeah. So those I think, are all of my thoughts. I'm just looking at my notes just to see if there was anything else. Oh, yes. Also, because, we work in cycles as the wise woman, we live in a cyclical fashion, right? And so this is the beginning of a new year. but it's not the be all and end all. It's the turning of a calendar in a Gregorian way. But there are many new cycles. Every breath is a new cycle. A new day is a new cycle. Every lunar cycle. I work a lot with the lunar cycle. Every new moon, right? We have our Chinese, the lunar year coming up in a couple of weeks. And then we've got some people, and I tend to really like this as well. For me, the new year is actually the first new moon after the spring equinox. Because if you think about that in nature, that's when we are starting to emerge. So if you don't feel that this is the word, if it doesn't light you up, or you're not sure, or even if it's totally lighting you up right now, you may want to revisit when you feel as there's a new cycle coming in nature, or you just feel you want to kind of check in again. It can shift. There's no rule, right? This is for our enjoyment, right? For us to embody joy in our lives. And so have fun with it. You don't have to stick with it. You can change it. This might not be the right time. Yeah. So I think that is everything. Oh, I know one other thing. I did think of something else. I just saw it on I have a theme song. So I decided because I also work with embodiment anyway and movement, and I've been dancing more. What a perfect thing. And so I'm like, Spirited. Oh, I know a song. It's called Spirit, and it's perfect. And so that is now my theme song. So I am dancing with that every day. And it's a great way to get your body moving in the morning. So if you can find a theme song that represents your word, I encourage you to play with that. And if you're not, if you don't want to move, or you have physical limitations, whatever, you might sing, or you might do both. Or you might just listen to it and embody the word that way, whatever feels right for you. So I think that is everything I have for you in terms of thoughts and ideas. But now I would love, and I will turn off the recording. So if people would like to share, or if you have questions, and then we'll try to figure out a way that we can do for everybody a card that would like one. All right, so I'm just going to stop the recording.